The film begins with U.S. Army soldier Miles Willis on patrol in a desolate desert landscape. The mission seems routine until a sudden, blinding flash of white light knocks him unconscious. When Miles wakes, he is no longer in the desert. He finds himself inside a featureless, cube-shaped room. The walls are smooth, metallic and seamless. There are no doors, windows, seams, or control panels. He still has his tactical gear and satellite phone, but the phone shows 0 bars of service. At first, he assumes it's some kind of classified military detention, but the lack of any human contact or explanation quickly makes the situation feel far more sinister. Miles soon realizes the cube is not static. Without warning, the temperature inside plummets to near freezing, frosting his breath and equipment. Just as abruptly, it swings to blistering heat that makes the metal walls almost untouchable. Then the entire room rotates violently, like a giant dice being thrown. Miles and all his gear are slammed against the walls and ceiling as gravity shifts. When the rotation stops, the orientation of the room has changed, and sometimes new objects have appeared or disappeared. During one of these shifts, a cryptic message etches itself into the wall, as if being written by an unseen hand. He also discovers a handheld telecom device among his scattered belongings, but it's useless. The cube seems to jam all signals. After several rotations, Miles' satellite phone unexpectedly rings. On the other end is a woman named Dempsey. She's trapped in an identical cube room. Dempsey explains that Miles' phone number appeared written on her wall, which is why she called. The two quickly establish that they're experiencing the same phenomena: temperature swings, rotations, appearing messages, and total isolation. They don't know who built the rooms, why they were taken, or if anyone else is involved. The only thing they know for certain is that they are somehow linked. With no other human contact, Miles and Dempsey keep each other talking to avoid losing their minds. Through their conversations, we learn why the rooms might be tailored to them. Dempsey reveals she's a schoolteacher trapped in an abusive marriage. Her husband is physically violent, and she's been too afraid to leave. Miles confesses his own darkness. His father was also Army, and as a child Miles was routinely locked in rooms while his father beat his mother. He could hear her screams through the door. Now, as an adult and a soldier, Miles fears he's repeating the cycle. He admits to moments of rage toward his own wife and child, and the guilt is consuming him. The cube, it seems, is forcing both of them to confront the rooms they've been trapped in their entire lives, Dempsey's abusive home, and Miles' generational trauma. As they talk, patterns emerge. The rooms appear to be quantum entangled or experimentally linked. When Miles' room heats up, Dempsey's might freeze. When one rotates, the other feels it. They start timing the cycles and using them to their advantage. Miles tries to pry at seams during rotations, hoping the structural stress will reveal a weakness. Dempsey helps him track the intervals and stay focused. The messages on the walls become more personal, referencing their private confessions, which suggests the rooms, or whoever controls them, are monitoring them psychologically, not just physically. The deeper Miles gets, the more the film blurs reality. Dempsey's details are vivid, but Miles has no way to verify she's real. Is she another soldier in a parallel cube, an AI designed to study his reactions? Or is she a hallucination created by his PTSD and isolation? The film deliberately withholds a clear answer. What matters is that she becomes his anchor. During a brutal cold cycle where Miles nearly gives up, Dempsey talks him through it, forcing him to confront the moment he almost struck his wife and chose to walk away instead. The room is acting like an exposure therapy nightmare, making him relive his fear of becoming his father. In the final act, Miles stops trying to beat the room with force and starts using what he's learned about its patterns. He realizes the rotations aren't random, they respond to his emotional state. When he's panicked, the room is more violent. When he's calm and honest, the cycles are less severe. During one last massive rotation, he wedges his gear into what he believes is a microfracture in the wall. As the cube spins, the stress on that point causes the metal to shear. Light floods in for the first time. Miles crawls out of the ruptured cube, but he doesn't emerge into a military base or alien lab. He's in a vast, empty white void. In the final shot, he stands alone, breathing hard, and we cut to black before we see where he goes next. The film leaves three main interpretations open. First, he literally escaped a secret government or alien experiment designed to study PTSD in soldiers. Second, he died in that desert flash, and the cube was a form of purgatory, with Dempsey acting as a guide through his unresolved trauma. Third, the entire experience was a psychotic break. Miles never left the desert, and the cube was his mind's way of processing combat trauma and his fear of domestic abuse. The title The Abandoned takes on double meaning. Miles was abandoned in the cube, and he's terrified of abandoning his family by becoming the man his father was. The movie is less about sci-fi mechanics and more about psychological horror. The cube is a metaphor for the way trauma boxes people in, and the only way out is to confront what's inside.